Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Target Focused Life. Pull. My name's Steve, and today we're taking a look at the redesigned Benelli Montefeltro. So if you want to see what's changed, take a deep look at this gun, you've come to the right spot. Let's go! So as you guys can see, I got a brand new hoodie on. It's the Target Focused Life hoodie, one of them. We got a whole bunch of hoodies, whole bunch of new merch. Let me show you what else we got for merch. We got this one. We got this hoodie. We got this design in t-shirts and youth sizes. We got this one in a cool blue tee. Little Target Focused Life with the theme verse on there. Check it out. This one's pretty basic. Hey, I guess something on the back too. I didn't even know that. We got this in a hoodie. And last but not least, we got this cool one. I like that. That'll be a good look for summer. That's just a quick look at the merch. Check the link in the description. You can buy all that plus a TFL hat. So the Benelli Montefeltro. This is not a new gun. I mean, the Montefeltro's not. This is redesigned, brand new for 2023 with lots of updates. But the Montefeltro itself has been on the market since 1983. I reviewed it for the first time last year, so time for updates. Just like my hairdo, time for an update. Really like the new look of the Benelli Montefeltro. We're gonna take a deep dive into it today, but let's just start out like we always do with some specs. This is a 12 gauge shotgun, 3-inch chamber. It's available also in 20 gauge. The MSRP of the shotgun is $14.99. So both the Montefeltro and the M2 have been updated. The Montefeltro went up a little bit in price. The M2 went down a little bit in price. So prior, the Montefeltro was the price point model, the cheapest semi-auto you could get from Benelli. Now it's the M2, and I keep pointing over here off the screen because I have the redesigned M2. We just made a video on that one. The Montefeltro is more of the upland, more of the clay shooting, they say, type gun. The gun is 6 pounds, 7 ounces, so definitely a gun you could carry all day in the field. Feels very light in the hands. We'll see how it shoots. When it comes to length of pull, 14 3/8 inches. This has the micro cell recoil pad on it, I believe it's called. Now, I believe you can get these in different lengths, so you have to buy those, additional purchase, so you can increase the length of pull if you need to. The drop at comb is 1 3/8. The drop at heel is 2 3/8, so you have an inch drop, which is pretty typical of a field gun. It does come with 3 chokes. I have them right there. They are the improved cylinder, modified, and full flush mount chokes. I've already went ahead and swapped it out for my Carlson's ported sporting clay choke. As far as barrel options, it's available in 24, 26, and 28 inch options. Last thing I like to look at when it comes to specs is trigger pull. What does this trigger feel like? Just mount it up. A little spongy at the front side. Let's test it out this way. Of course, make sure the gun's unloaded before you do this. This gun's 6 pounds, 7 ounces. So I'm thinking trigger pull is gonna be right around 6.5 pounds. Pull number 1. Ooh, 5 pounds, 1.7 ounces. Let's enter that one, give it another pull. 5 pounds, 0.4 ounces. Enter, and one more for good measure. 5.09. Right at 5 pounds, 5 pounds, 1 ounce. That's lighter than it felt, I gotta admit. I think it's a sponginess. It has a nice break once it breaks, but there's some take up there. Pretty happy with the trigger. But let's look at ergonomics. This is the feel, the form, the function. It's got like a medium-sized pistol grip here. Nice, this is not true checkering. It's more like stippling. Let's see how it fits in the hands with the pistol grip. Not bad. Not bad for me. I can get my first pad on there. I can get full contact here. Doesn't look like there's much of a palm swell at all. Maybe very slight. I'm pretty okay with how it fits in my hands. Let's mount it up. 14 3/8. This is short for me. You can see my nose is basically touching my finger. That's not ideal. I would have to make this a little bit longer. One of the redesign things on this is they did change the butt pad to this microcell. Not a big deal, in my opinion. The forearm change, this looks very similar to an Ethos forend. I like the feel of an Ethos forend. It feels really good when you grab it like this. Maybe what I don't like is if you want to point a finger, if this is how you shoot, it's angled upwards like this towards the barrel, so I can't point parallel with the barrel in this groove. And there's nowhere for my thumb to go and point, unless I'm gonna rest it on that barrel, which gets hot. So I don't love that, but if you grab like this, and I know a lot of people do, no big deal, pretty decent. This is a flat rib, flat off the receiver, slight venting, fiber bead on front, woohoo! I'm not genuine about that, I'd get rid of it. See you later. If you see the receiver, it's a totally different receiver. It's cut out, looks a little bit more like the ethos in the receiver. It is a 1-part receiver, not 2 parts. The bolt handle changed, no big difference, other than it seems really challenging to get out, which we'll look at in a little bit. The bolt release changed. So that's all right, cross bolt safety on the back. I like how it's cut out like this. M2 is the same exact thing, pretty much same receiver, very easy to get shells in there. It's got the red follower at the end of the mag tube. I like that, it's a nice look. They changed the font on Montefeltro. It does look more modern, you gotta admit. I like this gun a whole lot more looks-wise than the old Montefeltro. I'll say that, the old Montefeltro looked dated. I really like the Montefeltro as it was. I think it's only gotten better. But we gotta look at some other things. We gotta look at recoil, reliability, how it cycles. Let's do that now. What do you say? Let's go ahead and slap a few shells in, see what this feels like. I really miss my table that I'm used to working off of. Ooh. These are target loads I'm shooting, 1 1/8 target loads. She's got some punch for target loads. Let's actually shoot a target. Low house, pull. There we go, one more. Pull. Right here, I'm getting rubbed raw, right there. This grip doesn't fit me as well as I thought. Don't love that. Recoil, moderate. Moderate recoil for target loads. This is a light gun, it's a field gun. This wouldn't be my preferred sporting gun for sporting clays. I want a heavier gun. This is gonna whip. This barrel's hard to control. It's a very light forend. We don't want the barrel whipping. Otherwise it will catch our eye along with that fiber. And then next thing you know, we're looking at the barrel instead of the clay. I would look at this as a field gun, a pheasant gun. Maybe not a duck gun, but I have duck loads. That's what I have here. Pull. Oh boy. I just got done shooting the M2. The M2 doesn't have nearly this much recoil, felt recoil. It's a little heavier. That makes a difference. You gotta look at what you prioritize. Light gun or a gun with less recoil, which is generally a heavier gun. Okay, let's see how this gun cycles. This has an updated bolt as well. This is running a new bolt system. It's a Benelli inertia system. I don't know what that means. It's an inertia gun. Hey, that didn't feel so bad. That was fast. The timing's gotta be perfect. There's something, if you don't get timing perfect, you can't pull the trigger once it's fully in battery. So from the hip, that ran pretty good. Pretty happy with that. Let's try a little over the head. It all cycled. I'm pretty happy with that. The M2, I had a little more issues. Montefeltro, I think the original one too, it seemed to be a little bit more reliable than the M2. So pretty happy with the reliability of this gun so far. Recoil, don't love it, but everything's a trade-off, right? So now let's break this gun down, see what we're working with. We know it's a Benelli inertia. It's gonna be fairly simple. Forend cap, don't love, kind of hard to get off. The M2 had a redesigned forend cap, loved it. Check out that video if you haven't already. Single pin, I like that. That comes right out. To get the trigger group out, you have to push the bolt release. Okay, now I said they have a new bolt handle. I don't know what was wrong with the last bolt handle, but I know what's wrong with this one. It's almost impossible to grab a hold of. M2, same exact thing. If you can get something behind it and get some leverage, you can get it out, but that's kind of annoying in my opinion. And then the bolt's out. There you have it. There is the Benelli Montefeltro in all of its naked glory. I do like the simplicity of these shotguns. Benelli does a great job with that. Let's slap it back together because we got more shooting to do. Oh, that clicks right into place. Did you hear that? Single pin action, super simple. Let's grab the forend and barrel. Ooh, that's toasty. Guns back together, we're hot. 2, trot. Now the Montefeltro is only available in wood configurations, I believe. Not 100% sure. I know there's like 8 different configurations in the Montefeltro, and it's the only Benelli option in wood. So I think we got to put this on the clock. It's time for some speed shoot and see if I can run this bad boy like it's stolen. So we're putting the Montefeltro on the clock. Why do we do this? Because we want to see how it all comes together. The mount, the trigger, the feel, the grips, everything, the cycling. I learn a lot through this. I absolutely do. What's that? No. Producer just told me that when I shot the original Montefeltro, I shot a 1.09 speed shooting, so I got my work cut out for me. Let's see if I can get it done. Trigger. This has got a light trigger, but all that take up, that pre-travel, I go to squeeze, and I'm already letting off coming back thinking the trigger's gonna break. Whew. Had the same issue with the M2. If I shot these a lot more, I'd get used to that, but I'm used to triggers that break a little bit quicker. I hit them all cleanly, but I had to slow down tremendously. Shot a 131. That was fast. 105. I may have thrown a hair early. Yeah, it was a 0.61 on the throw, which tells me it's a little early. And a 0.22 and a 0.22 split. Those aren't fast splits. But I hit all 3. I know I can shoot faster. That was a 0.81. If I would have got that last shot off, having that same issue. 1, 2, 3. I don't know. That might be all I have. I'm having a lot of issues. When I try to go super fast, a lot of times the shell goes into battery, into the chamber, and I'm not able to shoot. I don't know what's going on with that. I had the same issue with the M2. Sometimes it doesn't even come up into the chamber, not very often, but just really struggling to shoot this gun fast. I'm in a 1, 2, 3, not terrible. Not as fast as I shot the other Montefeltro. And the same thing with the M2 when I shot that, I wasn't shooting that as fast. Now there's some human conduct in this, some human error, right? How quickly I can throw clays and get up is my error. But how fast I can pull the trigger if the gun can't keep up, that's that. That being said, you're going out and shooting pheasants. You're not going to shoot 3 shots in 1.23 seconds, guarantee it. Especially not with hunting loads, because this gun's got some kick. But would I take this gun out pheasant hunting, even quail hunting? I'd prefer 20 gauge quail hunting, which Montefeltro does come in 20 gauge, so that's cool. Absolutely, I'd walk with this gun. I think it's a fun gun to shoot. I do prefer the stepped up rib. This is a flat rib, no big deal. I'll get rid of the fiber so it's just not distracting to me. Nice gun. I like the redesign. I think it's really an updated look. It looks really cool. If you want to get into a Benelli, but you want more of that wood look, this is your option, really. This is your only option. If you want something more for upland hunting and some clay shooting, this is a good option. If all you're doing is clay shooting, I wouldn't go this route, personally, but that's just me. And these are just my opinions. And I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you got a deep, in-depth look at the redesigned Benelli Montefeltro. Remember, whether you're in the field or in life, you're only gonna hit those shots you're laser focused on. So live, target focused. See ya.